5 DSA mistake that silently destroys your chances of getting selected in interview. Let's see in this video. If you have solved 300, 400 or even 500 LeetCode problem but still you get rejected, do you know why? It's not because of the knowledge which you don't have, but it's about the mistakes you perform during a time of interview. If you're preparing for the companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, then this video can literally save you in a next interview. Mistake number 1, jumping to a code. This is the biggest mistake and almost everyone does it. Whenever the interviewer gives you any problem, you start solving it immediately, just like you are in a LeetCode contest. But the problem here is that the question given by the interviewer might be a vague, which does not give you any clear idea. It does not tell us what kind of values it contains. We also don't know the constraint through which we can decide what is expected time complexity. So on what basis you start solving the problem immediately? Let's take an example. If the interviewer gives you a problem, given an array, find a pair whose sum is equal to a target. If we try to observe this problem clearly, nothing is mentioned properly. For example, we don't know what we need to return. Do we need to return a pair whose sum is equal to target, indices of that pair, or do we need to return Boolean value? We don't know whether there are negative numbers, positive numbers, or duplicate values are available. We also don't know, can we consider the same number twice to add up and find the target? So whenever the interviewer gives you a problem and you try to solve it immediately, interviewer will come to know that you are a coder and not a problem solver. To overcome this habit, try to implement this method. Whenever the interviewer gives you any problem, before you start solving it, try to ask some clarification questions like, what can be the minimum and maximum size of my array? Can we consider a duplicate number? Can we return a pair, indices, or a Boolean value? Because when you ask such clarification questions, interviewer will come to know that you are trying to understand the problem before you solve it. Also, interviewer does not want to test how speedy you are. They wanted to check what is your thought process, how you are trying to approach these problems, and how you are trying to build the intuition. Mistake number 2, not communicating your thought process. Let's suppose you people are taking my interview and I start solving the problem without communicating, just like this. Similarly, you might be solving this problem correctly, but interviewer does not have any idea about what's going on in your head. You are not at all communicating. Interviewer does not get any idea about your thought process. He also does not know how you are trying to build the intuition. And remember, this is the biggest mistake that can literally take you away from a chance of getting selected. So the big question comes in, how we can overcome this mistake. Do remember that whenever you are trying to practice any DSA problem, try to think out loud. Now, what do you mean by think out loud? Whenever the interviewer gives you any problem, instead of solving it silently, try to explain your thought process, intuition loudly. Because of this reason, interviewer will come to know that in which direction you are trying to take this problem to solve it. He will also come to know that what is your approach, what intuition you are trying to build. And one of the biggest reason and advantage of thinking out loudly is that whenever you get stuck somewhere else while solving the problem, interviewer knows what you are trying to build and in which direction you are trying to take this problem. So he can help you out with the hint that can make you possible to solve that problem. So try to install this habit within you. Mistake number 3, memorizing the patterns and not understanding them. Binary search, done. Dynamic programming, done. Sliding window, done. But if interviewer makes a slight change in the question, then everything breaks down. Because you might have completed all the patterns, but you don't know when to use which pattern and how to recognize them. See, interviewer does not want to test how long you remember every pattern. They want to test your adaptability. They want to know how you break down that problem into which category of the pattern. So to overcome this bad habit, try to install this habit. Whenever you solve any problem on the LeetCode or any of the programming platform, instead of going ahead, hold on and take a breath. Ask yourself, in which pattern does these problems belongs to? Can I try to solve it using another pattern? Also, go into the solution section and read the top 3 solutions, because this might give you idea about having different approaches to solve the same problem. The problem here is that many people are running behind solving multiple questions, but they don't know which questions belongs to which pattern. So to hold on, ask every question in which pattern does these questions belongs to. Mistake number 4, ignoring edge cases. Have you ever experienced that you write the program, your logic is correct, your code is also able to solve the given sample test cases, but the moment you try to submit this problem, it will give you a wrong answer or runtime error. Then again you make certain changes in your code and you resubmit the problem. And as usual, again it gives you a wrong answer or runtime error. And then again you keep making changes in your code. How long you will keep making changes those? See, the problem here is that you are trying to submit your problem without even thinking about the edge cases. Because we have developed the logic, but you never thought of those extra edge cases. And that is, what if we have a single element? What if our array is empty? What if we have a negative numbers? Do remember, one missed edge case is equal to one rejection, because you cannot make changes in your code every now and then. So how we can fix this or improve this habit? So in order to overcome this problem, try to install this habit even while practicing a DSA problem. Whenever the interviewer gives you any problem, and you write the code, don't directly say to him, I'm done with my code. Instead, take a breath, take one sample test case, take one edge case and dry run your code. Because when you make some dry run, you will come to know that how the internal working of your code is behaving. And this gives you idea whether your code can pass all the sample test cases and edge case or not. Do remember that a great engineer does not only solve the problem, they handle every scenario. Mistake number 5, giving up too early. This mistake hurts the more. Interviewer gives you problem, you read that problem, you get panic and you get stuck. You try to think for 5-10 minutes and you say, I'm not able to solve it. Dude, you are not making any efforts to think on that problem. You don't even give your 100% to know what type of problem is this and to which pattern does it belong. And you're directly saying that you are not able to solve this problem. See, the interviewer does not want to test whether you are having a perfect answer or not. They just want to check your persistence, how you are trying to think, what is your thought process, how you are building the intuition. So whenever you feel like giving up, always say to the interviewer, let's try some brute force approaches and then we can think how we can optimize this. And always remember, your thinking matters more than your final answers. So if you fix these 5 mistakes, your next interviews or upcoming interviews can literally change your chances of getting selected. And do remember, it's not about solving more problems, it's about solving the problem in a right way. I hope you have found this video very helpful and this can also help you while preparing to your next interview. Just in case, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel for more such informative videos that can help you to be a better software engineer. This is Pramod Bhosale signing off.